Good morning, my dear students. 8th standard subject science, chapter number 4, current, electricity, and magnetism. We have started this chapter already. Now, today's topic is dry cell, which I have given you in homework also to draw this diagram. Have you all drawn this diagram? Okay, if you have drawn, very good. If you are not drawn, please try to draw this diagram. Okay, now I'll go ahead with this topic, which is dry cell. The dry cells are used in our radio sets, wall clocks, and torches. You may have seen a torch, wall clock, radio sets in your remote control devices. These are available in 3 to 4 sizes. The construction of a dry cell is as shown in figure. Here is the construction of your dry cell. Take a lead dry cell and remove its outer coating. Inside you will find a whitish metal layer. This is the zinc metal layer. This is the negative terminal of the cell. Now carefully break open this layer. This is the another layer inside, and electrolyte is filled between these two layers. The electrolyte contains negatively charged and positively charged ions. Here you can observe in this diagram. See, negative terminal over here, positive terminal, and inside in it zinc cover. If you will go in detail, after opening you will get zinc cover, then electrolyte, carbon electrode is very inside in it. Next is divisor. This is protective layer. All this is the part of the construction. Okay, so the electrolyte contains negatively charged and positively charged ions. These are carriers of electricity. The electrolyte is a wet pulp of zinc chloride. Formula of zinc chloride is ZnCl2, and ammonium nitrate. Now ammonium chloride, which is NH4Cl. There is a graphite rod at the center of the cell. This is positive terminal of the cell. A paste of manganese dioxide, MnO2, is filled outside the rod. Because of the chemical reaction of all these chemicals, electrical charge is produced on the two terminals, graphite rod, zinc layer, and electric current flows in the circuit. Due to the wet pulp is used in this cell, the chemical reaction proceeds very slowly. Hence, a large electric current cannot be obtained from this. Obviously, if you touch on the shell, there will be no current. You will not feel any kind of current. A small amount of current is there, which is helpful for a wall clock or your remote control, all these things, your hand watch. Compared to electric cells using liquids, the shelf of dry cell is longer. Dry cells are very convenient to use. These can be held in any direction with respect to ground and can be used in mobile instruments. You can observe here, this is your dry cell. You may have seen different types of dry cells also are there. This is the way of opening. Our motto is we just have to see what things are there inside in it. So please don't use in your house, in-house, like good condition of dry cell. See, you can observe here. You can compare your diagram. Just take front of your diagram and whether the things are there inside in it or not, please observe it. See the rod, black rod, you can observe. This is the chemical inside in it. These are the components which are present in our dry cell. See, this is the chemical, mixture of your chemical. Next topic is lead acid cell. Here is a diagram figure in the right hand side, lead acid cell. Now what are the things are over there? So the H2SO4 solution is there in the tank, negative terminal, positive terminal. Lead dioxide, lead. Now let's go ahead with the explanation. In the figure depicts the design of a lead acid cell. Let us examine its principle. This type of cell can be recharged after getting electrically discharged. The lead acid cell contains a lead electrode and lead oxide electrode. Both are dipped in dilute sulfuric acid. PbO2 means lead dioxide, carries a positive charge, while Pb means lead, carries negative charge. The potential difference between these two is nearly 2 volt. Because of the chemical reaction between the substances in the cell, electrically charge is produced on both the electrodes and electric current flows through the load, that is bulb. This kind of electric cells have a capacity to deliver large current. And whatever we have seen dry cell, that type of cells are having capacity to load a small amount of current. But if you want a large amount of current, then you have to take lead acid cell. Hence lead acid cells are used in cars, trucks, motorcycles, uninterrupted power supplies, which is UPS. NICD means nickel cadmium. These days variety of gadgets are available which are required to be carried different places, such as gadgets use NICD cells. The cells deliver 1.2 volt potential difference and are rechargeable. And this is the electric circuit diagram for the any simple circuit diagram. Here is your cell, here is your plug key, and here is your bulb. If you will close this plug key, then your bulb will glow. If you will open this plug key, then your bulb will not glow. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram for the same. Now, what are the things are given in the circuit diagram? When a cell holder, an electric bulb and plug key are connected in a connecting wires in a figure, then the bulb gives light by closing the plug key. This means that current flows through the circuit and bulb light up. On the removal of the cell, the electric current flowing through the circuit stops as indicated by the bulb, which ceases to glow. This type of connection of electrical components is called electrical circuit. A circuit is shown in figure. The cell is shown by the symbol is plus minus. Obviously positive negative charges are there, that is why plus minus sign is there. Okay, an electrical circuit is also used in the home supply. However, the electricity supply is made from outside instead of the electric cells. You will learn about it later on. Now there is no need of these things in detail. Whatever the things we have to study, that is about only cell. Now next is connecting cells. You must have seen more than electric cells connected an electrical circuit. In the transistor radio, 2 to 3 die cells are seen to be connected in series. The purpose of doing this is obtain more potential difference than the single cell. Obviously, whenever you need a maximum potential difference and you have to increase the potential difference, then at that time you have to arrange the cells in a series. Okay, so then definitely automatic the potential difference will increase. Therefore, it is possible to obtain higher current also. If the cells are connected as seen in above figure, parallelly condition, or we can say it as series condition, both are different. If the cells are connected in figure, I'll show you the figure this way. This is the figure of series condition, and this is the figure of parallel condition. So the connected figure will give you connection cell will be battery of cells. In this series connection, the positive terminal of one cell is connected to the negative terminal of second cell. Positive terminal of second cell is connected to the negative terminal of third one. Therefore, if each cell has a potential difference of 1 volt, the total potential difference of the 3 cells will be 3 volt. Here is the construction and working of your lead acid cell components. PbO2 plate will act as a positive plate, Pb plate will act as a negative plate. Dilute H2SO4 will act as an electrolyte. This is the construction and working about lead acid battery. Here is the solution of H2SO4 and water. Now next is PbO2 and Pb. We are connecting with the help of wire these two, and we are connecting between it bulb. Now here with this PbO2, positive charges are creating in it, and on this lead negative charge is creating on it. Due to this mixture of solution, reaction is happening, and 2 hydrogen and SO4 is getting reacted with the water with this lead oxide, and this hydrogen is removing along with this lead oxide. So obviously positive charge is going over there. So hydrogen will attack on PbO2 and convert it into PbO plus H2O. Water is removing in it. Then PbO reacts with H2SO4 and gives PbSO4. lead sulfur oxide. SO4 will attacks on Pb and convert it into PbSO4, lead sulfur oxide. This is the reaction happening in it. And hence the charges are creating over there, negative charges are going over there. Due to the reaction, all these things are happening. And in the way, positive and negative charges are creating on it. And when it happens, then current start flowing through the wire and bulb is glowing. So this is the procedure of your lead acid battery. Now next topic is very interesting. Magnetic effects of electric current. Have you heard about one thing in Oersted experiment when he was performing with its experiments, one experiment at that time, when a current is flowing through a circuit at that time, the needle is kept aside through around the circuit. Then when he has started the switch on the condition, then the current is flowing through the circuit, and at a time the needle gets attracted towards the wires. And when he has switched off the circuit, that time the needle is having a stable condition. Again he has started its circuit. At that time again the needle gets attracted towards the circuit, towards the wires. Why this thing was happening over there? So through that condition he was clear one concept that the current has magnetic effect. Okay, so because of the current is creating magnetic effect, that is why the needle is getting attracted towards it. So same thing, same concept we have to study over here, magnetic effect of electric current. The activity is given over here. I am gonna reading this activity, listen carefully. Take the inside tray of an used up matchbox, place a small magnetic needle inside the tray. Now take a long connecting wire and wind it around the tray. Complete the electric circuit by connecting wire in it. This wire, electric cell, plug key and bulb. Here you can observe the diagram for the same magnetic effect of electric current. The needle is given over there, around wire is wounding over there, and this is your battery or cell, we can say, plug key, and this is the bulb. Mark the position of magnetic needle. Take a bar magnet near the magnetic needle. What do you observe? Keep looking the needle and close the plug key. The bulb will light up and you will realize that the current has started flowing. Does the magnetic needle change in its position? Now open the plug key. Does the magnetic needle come back to the original position? Obviously yes. What will your conclusion through the experiment? Obviously yes, the direction of magnetic needle gets changed. Now you know that a magnetic needle is inside a magnet. You have seen the magnetic needle changes its direction when a bar magnet is taken near magnetic needle. Also you have observed that the magnetic needle changes its direction when a current flowing in a circuit. This means that magnetic needle is created when electric current flows in a wire. Hans Christian Ørsted made this observation first. I have told you before to start this topic, Ørsted experiment, the same scientist Hans Christian Ørsted made this observation first. Briefly, we can say that when an electric current passes through a wire, the magnetic field produced around that wire. This is the part of your experiment. See the diagram which we have seen, the same diagram you are observing over here. Electric bulb, cell, the naming written. Please written the naming, magnetic compass, plug key. All the things are over here on this board. This is your magnetic compass. See, you can observe the needle direction. When the current starts flowing, the direction of needle gets changed. Please observe the direction of needle. When it is getting switched off, then direction of magnetic needle gets changed again. If you put a plug key again, see, the current is flowing through the circuit and bulb is glowing and the direction of magnetic needle is changing. This is happening again and again. Next topic is electromagnet. I'm gonna read this activity and we'll understand the concept of electromagnet through this activity. Take a meter long flexible copper wire having resistive coating and wind tightly on a long iron screw. Connect the two ends of the wire in the circuit as shown in figure. This two end we have to connect to the battery, or we can say it as cell. Also connect the electric cell and plug key in a circuit. Keep 2 to 4 iron pins, small nails near the screw. Now start current in the circuit by plugging the key. It will be noticed that pins or nails have stuck to the tip of the screw. Will the pins and nails continue to stick when the plug is open? Obviously no, because why they are getting stick on the nail, because when the current is starting flowing through the wires, at that time the wire magnetic field is creating in it. That is why the pins get attracted. If you switch off the conditions, that time what will happen, the magnetic field is not there, because due to current is flowing through the circuit, magnetic field is creating over there. If the current is not there, then magnetic field is also not there, hence the pin will not stuck up over there. When the electric current flows in the wire, here is the explanation. Please see over here. Magnetism is produced in the coil around the screw. Because of that, screw also attains magnetism. As soon as the current is stopped, this magnetism vanishes. The system of coil and the screw is called electromagnet. You have seen various uses of electromagnet in standard 6th also. Electromagnets are used to produce strong magnetic field in scientific research. Now next is electric bell. With your every lecture the bell is ringing, the same electric bell is there. Many of you have must seen simple electric doorbell. Open such a bell which is out of order. Dispatch a bell, it's out of cover, remote. We see that there is electromagnetic inside. Let us understand the working of the bell. A copper wire is wound around iron piece. This coil acts electromagnet. An iron strip along with striker is fitted near electromagnet. A contact screw is touched with the strip. You can observe the construction side is given there in right hand side. The current flows in the circuit when a screw is in contact with the strip, and hence the coil becomes a magnet and attracts the iron strip towards it. Therefore, the striker hits the gong and the sound is created. However, at the same time, the contact screw loses the contact with strip and the current in its magnetism, and the iron strip moves back and comes in contact with the screw. The electric current is then immediately restored again. The striker hits the gong. By the above process, this action repeats itself and the bell rings. Here is the construction of your electric bell. Let me show you video of this explanation. An electromagnet makes the bell will ring. Magnetic effect of electric current, which we have seen earlier. The screw gets attracted towards the nail. This is the part of electromagnet. In this way we have to connect battery, your plug key and your nail. When the current is flowing through a battery, then nails get attracted towards the pins get attracted towards the nails. How does electric bell ring? So here is the construction. You can observe the switch is there on off, and the electromagnet wounds of wire is there. Due to this, when I'm gonna switch it on the condition, at that time in the wire magnetic effect is creating around it, and due to that this hammer gets attracted towards the bell and it gets start ringing. If I stop the current, if I switch off the current, then the connection between them will gets off and hence the bell will stop. See, you can observe the magnetic field with the help of blue lines. I'm going to show you over here. That is your magnetic field. This way the hammer gets attracted towards the gong. This is the attraction because of the current. If the current gets stops, then there is no magnetic field, and if the magnetic field is not there, then it is not getting attracted towards it. At that time it will not attract, means see the connection is not there between them, means it is getting, the circuit is broken and the hammer strikes the gong. If there is no current flow, then no electromagnet is there. No magnetic field, no electromagnet, then the connection between them will go ahead with it. The coils becomes an electromagnet, and again the strikes gets on hammer the gong. And this thing is happening again and again because of the magnetic field. The hammer get attracted toward the gong. Here we have done this chapter. If you have any doubt related to this chapter, please WhatsApp me on my number. Okay, so I just stop my video over here. Thank you.